love magic and I love nature, and that's what my art is really about. And I really want to highlight the magic that's all around us, but that oftentimes we don't notice because we're busy and life is crazy. Right now we are in Arch Enemy Arts in Philadelphia. I grew up in the forest right outside of Baltimore. I was homeschooled, so I spent pretty much most of my time running around in nature, pretending I was like a wood nymph. And my mom was my primary teacher, and she is also an artist. She is a dancer, and so she really encouraged me to explore art, because that's what I was always interested in. I was always covered in paint. So I was living in Colorado right when I got out of high school. And I went to art school for about a semester, and it just wasn't my thing. So I dropped out and I just started making it in a more serious way. And I lucked out, and I was showing it at the coffee shop that I worked at the time. And this brewery that was opening up, the owner, I think, came into the coffee shop and saw my work, and they asked if I would create all the artwork for their brewery, which was also a restaurant. And they had a whole lot of space, so I ended up just making an entire body of work for them. And it ended up being a really, really popular restaurant and brewery, so that got me a lot of exposure there and kind of started my career. And I was able to just kind of live off that for a while. And then I moved to New York and kind of had to switch gears a little bit, but that was probably about 10 years ago when I started doing it full time. I moved to New York 5 years ago at this point. Yeah, and I love it. I kind of can't imagine living anywhere else right now. It's just so inspiring and full of life, and I'm an impatient person, so I love that, get it done energy. Yeah. This body of work, I'd say that the inspiration for it started at the beginning of COVID. I was so depressed, as I'm sure a lot of us were, and I just was stuck. I was completely stuck. I didn't want to paint. I just kind of didn't want to do anything, and that was scary. I remember right before COVID hit, I was in a really busy time in life, and I just remember feeling I wish I could just press pause and take a really long nap. And then that happened. What I wanted happened in a sense. And I was just oh my God, no. This is, I don't know. It was just, it was so weird. I couldn't do anything. I was super sad. And then I kept dreaming about tornadoes. And one day, finally, after just weeks of me not being able to do anything except look out the window and cry, and I all of a sudden was I need to paint a rainbow tornado, because I keep dreaming about tornadoes. This time in life just feels so turbulent and unsettling and scary. But if it was a rainbow tornado, maybe I don't know, I want to bring hope into this time in some way. And I love the idea of beauty and hope and rebirth coming from destruction, or from tragedy. It got me really interested in rainbows and sparkles and shiny, rainbowy, magical things. Just because I want that that happiness in life right now, especially, and I love mixing that with something dark. So I just, kind of same thing with this piece, Eruptus. It's this scary thing, volcanoes, but I don't know. They're a part of our planet, part of the mystery and the majesty of our planet, and I just like the idea of newness and positivity coming from something scary and destructive.